Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Tim's Tech Corner. Today, we're going to go ahead and do a TTC video. It's been a while since I've done one on the channel. As you may or may not know, this channel is G4G and TTC. And this one is gamer adjacent, so it could actually be a G4G video. But I'm going to forgo the intro on this one and call this a Tim's Tech Corner one. So, welcome back to one of the first TTC videos that I've done in a couple of years. So I said this one is gamer adjacent, and that is because we're going to talk about a Razer product. So if you may or may not know, about I think a year ago or so at a CES, Razer talked about a project called Project Hazel. And a lot of people had heard about it, were interested in it when they were seeing Razer talk about it. And the project or beta stage has ended, and it's now actually released, and it's now called the Zephyr. So Razer has been doing gamer adjacent products for some time, like backpacks that can fit the Razer laptops. They have masks with Razer logos on them and everything. By the way, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way here. This bandage on my arm is because my cat Chewy decided to freak out when we were downstairs a little bit ago. The other cat, Albedo, her tail had knocked over a empty Arizona can, and the clanking noise that it made scared the shit out of Chewy, who rocketed up my arm and shoulder with his claws out for purchase and basically sliced the left side of my body to ribbons. So no, I'm not self-harming in any way, shape, or form. As you can see, it's well up here, and it's band-aids here, and there's actually some stuff on my neck. So I'm fine. Nobody alert the authorities. We're good. So Razer had been doing products like this for a while. They have a new line of things called Sneaky Snack, which the proceeds from that go, I think, to planting trees. And I actually have their headrest pillow, but I don't use it on this because this is a shiatsu backrest, and this thing over here is actually shiatsu for the neck, and having a headrest there won't work, but it's in my car. And it's actually pretty good. I really like it in my car because when I lean back in my car seat and I sit straight, it is the perfect distance away from my headrest to keep me aligned and like sitting straight up. So for some time now, for about a month or so, Razer has been doing these drops. And the drops are for people to get a Zephyr. The first one was absolutely miserable. It was a complete shit show. It was a utter debacle. Barely anybody could get on the site. You were in a holding pattern that would just go completely black on the screen. And you didn't know what to do. You didn't know if you should refresh or not. I opened up a second tab to see what was going on. It was bad. They later came out and said, sorry, we fucked up. We got hit with a lot of bots. People purchased multiple ones. We're going to fix that. The next one I did, I think maybe I missed because I got the notification. I read the email that acted as the notification they're doing a drop too close, and I didn't get it. The next one, the starter kit is what they were selling, and I thought the starter kit was just a bunch of like filters and everything. And then I realized at the very end, oh wait, that price is not a bunch of filters. That's the mask and filters. So I didn't get it. But this week, several days ago, I did get in on a drop, and I have picked up a Razer Zephyr. And I also discovered a friend of mine who streams on Twitch. He has one of them too. So we are going to go ahead and talk about this device here, which is the Razer Zephyr. It is their RGB mask with N95 filters in them. There's two versions. There's the mask, which comes with three changes, basically. So they give you 6 of the filters because there's one on each side, so there's 3 times 2 here. And then they give you 3 of the exhalation filters. If you get the starter kit, you get, I think, 3 more packets of these. They recommend the filters get changed after 3 days of 8-hour a day use. So if you're not running them for 8 hours straight, you're pretty good. So, essentially you're getting 24 hours of filtration on one set. So if you just get the mask, you're getting 3 times the 24 over there. And don't have to get filters for a little bit. So the box is typical of, I can't do an unboxing. The box is typical of Razer. They give you a really nice box. When I got my laptop from them, mice that I've gotten from them, the Razer Anzu that I got from them came in really nice boxes. So if there's unboxing videos of Razer products out there, those who like that will probably like those videos because those boxes are actually really solid, nice. They come with instructions, the filters. They give you the typical Razer stickers, the Razer Chroma RGB, the Razer Tri-Snake logo, and everything like that. And you also can get the Razer app. And once you get the Razer app, you get it on your phone and you can control the inside light, and we'll talk about that, and then the outside light on the filters. So I thought, honestly, my review was going to be really, really fair and give a lot of pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages, but I've actually begun to shrink some of the disadvantages a little bit, but there is still a kind of a major issue with this. So when I got it, I immediately put it on and showed the girlfriend, and the first thing that she said is that it was really, really big on my face. And I'm going to refer to this plastic facial piece here as the bedpan because that's what it looks like. You'll see that more in a bit. With the bedpan in, it sits really, really far forward on my face. And the first thing she said is it would look really, really good if you were wearing a hoodie, which would cut down on how big it is on you. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, which is going to be a little tough with the hat. So I'll take off the hat for a moment here. So there are two strings in this. There are 2 comfort pieces. One up here has the little ball, the little push ball in it, where you can adjust it, and the bottom one is normal. So if you hold a button that's under here, under the right cup, it turns on the fans and the LEDs. If you've worked with a Razer product before, you know the pre-programmed RGB modes that they give you. Wave, spectrum, breathing, etc. So this has static color. It has wave, which is what it's on now. And then it also has spectrum, which goes between 2 colors and everything. And the app allows you to control how the lights work. Now, I discovered today, because I had actually pulled up the app yet. I just discovered there was an app for it because I decided to read the instructions and saw that there actually was an app. So I was like, oh, cool. That makes complete sense. However, you can use this out of the box without the app at all. It will just be stuck on this color mode, and inside you will have a kind of green color. Like a light green color, as if it was charged. And I'm not too sure why it's in pairing mode. Hold on. Let me turn this off. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in pairing mode because the app seems to have forgotten about me. This blue means it's in pairing mode. So I'm going to hit search on the app. And once this color in here changes, it'll find it, and then it'll proceed and it'll get the controls. It asks you if you want to activate battery level alert. I chose no. Because that will just burn the battery of the phone. So here's what it's like when you have the app fully installed and configured and connected to the device. Now, prior to right now, I thought it was kind of crap that the only way to get the fans on is to have the RGB on also. But now that I have the app, there we go. I can keep the fan on while turning the RGB off. That is one of the benefits of actually having the app on a phone near you. I thought I had to have the RGB on to have the fans on. That has actually turned out not to be true. So if you have the ability to get the app and Bluetooth it into your Zephyr, go ahead and do so. So the Zephyr has the two N95 filters here. It has the exhalation filter here. And it has a clear section so that people who are hard of hearing and read lips and everything can see your face through here. And also your expressions. You can change the light in here if you're really concerned about people being able to see your expressions or read your lips. I would turn it to a bright color like a very light green or the light blue, which is the closest to white that you can get. If you're not really concerned, you want to hide your face like a classic mask, turn it to a darker color or just leave it off. There is a bit of tint to it, sort of like a limo tint for a car. The voice disruption from this mask isn't super bad. It is less Darth Vader-ish, more Bane. If you were to wear this mask, you could do a pretty good impression of Bane from the Dark Knight movie. Ah, you fight like a younger man, Batman. You think you have adopted the dark. I was born in it. I did not see the light until I was an adult and it was blinding. So it kind of has a Bane effect to it. So I'm going to turn it off. So everything about this mask really uses magnetics. The filter cups here, what you do to change the filters is you turn them and it will break a magnetic connection. You can peel them off. Sort of like you're twisting a giant Oreo. And then you just twist it back on, or just bring the filter, the screen by the body, and just rotate it until the magnets line up, and there you go. The white and black filters are in here. Now, when the filters are not in and the fan is on high, you get a really refreshing breeze coming up against your nose, your sinuses, and your mouth. It's actually very, very pleasant. It's a nice feeling to have, even if you're not trying to protect yourself or those around you. However, once the filters go in, it begins to cut down on that sensation a little bit. With the filters out, because it's pulling air in, when you inhale, the fans will whir up, and you'll get an escalation in speed sound. And then when you exhale, because you're pushing against the fan direction, the fan speed goes down a little bit. You get that sound going down. It almost sounds like the batteries are draining as you're listening to it. In louder environments, you will definitely, and even in like mid to quiet environments, the fans on low you barely hear. The fan on high definitely has a whirring sound that you can audibly hear. If you were to get into a busy environment, like if you were wearing this to a club or something, you wouldn't hear it at all. Now, the little bedpan thing that I was talking about can be removed. It has 4 magnetic posts and 2 clips on the sides. This is why I call it the bedpan. It's what it looks like, isn't it? When you take this out, to me, it sits closer to the face. it doesn't look nearly as forward. However, you are losing some comfort. You still have a really good seal. My right finger, I can touch my dimple over here. However, my left finger does not get in here nearly as well. It's just because there's a little gap over here where the charging port is. So it's still a pretty good seal, and you can either wear it higher up on your face and have the bottom part rest between your chin and your lips, or you can wear it a little bit lower and have it rest on your nose. I like it a little bit higher with my chin supporting it. One feature that I wish this had was I wish the sides were more rubbery or like a 3-hinged plastic so that I could go like that and make it conform to the sides of my face a little bit more. However, this is a pretty good seal over here the way it is. It's just, as you can see, bulky on the sides. Without the bedpan rubber, it fits a bit better. So, if you were concerned about the bulk of it, I think if you have a bigger face than me, you would be good. And when you have the rubber piece in, you don't get any fogging. Without the rubber piece, I am getting some fogging as I breathe out, but it goes away very, very quickly, especially when I breathe in. So the seal isn't quite as great, but as you can see, a hat and glasses do start to kill some of the volume that this mask takes up on your face. And if you're wearing a hoodie, it really does hide how forward from your face it is and how much on the sides it takes up. However, you look like a character in The Division or Watch Dogs when you do it. You look like you belong in a game or like a Blade Runner anime kind of thing. So, who do I think this mask probably fits the best for? I think it has two extremes. I think basically it works best in two very different scenarios. I'm a little concerned about this app, though. I wonder if the app remembers the thing from session to session, because I had to pair it again for the video, but that was weird. Anyway, so as you can see, Razer Anzu glasses also tend to be pretty big on the face. These are the ones with the microphones and the speakers up here in the frames, so that you can like listen to music right here. Okay, so it's disconnected. Who do I think these work the best for? So my friend who I found out has these actually was wearing the mask on a stream. I don't know for how long. He basically just sent me a picture of him streaming and he had it on. I don't know that he was doing a whole stream on it. I can imagine myself wearing this putting it on in my car as I'm getting a drive-through order, like if I was getting something at Starbucks or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, doing this right before I pick up my order. I think it'd be a fun conversation piece, but you're out of there quickly. If you're concerned somebody would think it's stupid looking or funny, you're out of there quick, but it might be an interesting little conversation. I think this mask is more for introverts than extroverts, extroverts rather than introverts. I can't imagine a person who doesn't really want to talk to people wearing this, because it's going to be a conversation starter. Since so few people wear a mask that looks like this, it's probably going to spark a conversation. The other scenario that I can imagine this mask being heavily used is like a really long public transit ride. If I was on a subway commuting out of New York City, going 40, 50 minutes out east to Long Island or something, Nassau, Suffolk County, or coming out of DC, or on a plane for a few hours, I could imagine wearing this mask in that scenario. Don't ask me why I think the longer ones do. It just seems like it's built for that. Like, I can imagine myself wearing this head down on a train, playing a Switch. And everything about that scenario seems to fit. This seems youthful, it seems tech. And if you're sitting there on the Switch, it seems to go, hand in hand. The where I think this mask isn't a good idea is the middle ground. I went and got gas earlier, and I had this with me. And there were so many people around that I was like, no, I don't think I want to be out there pumping gas with all these strangers around, potentially looking at this. And they weren't, and that's the other thing, they weren't wearing masks. I was like, this doesn't seem the spot to do it. I probably would not wear this walking up and down a grocery store or Home Depot or something like that. But those longer periods of time, like public transit and everything, I think you could. I wouldn't wear this at work. At my job, we are in a room. We don't wear the mask amongst ourselves. But if somebody comes in, or we go out of the room, go to the bathroom, go to the break room, go and do our jobs outside of the room, we have to wear masks. I wouldn't wear this at work. I think it would look too odd. I think a lot of people would get confused. I think gamers and youth would probably kind of understand it, but this I think would draw a lot of looks from, no offense, boomers. And somewhere in between my generation boomers, I think they'd be like, what the hell is that? I think it would work great in a club or, maybe in outdoor settings, like a parade or some kind of outdoor festival. I think this thing kind of works. I think it still has a very niche market to wear it outside. Now, it does say N95, and the girlfriend happened to bring up, she's like, it looks like something you should be using, like when you're painting or doing carpentry. We've all seen those videos on YouTube of like somebody sanding wood, and they have the mask with the rectangular filters on the side. I don't know that I would trust it for that, but if there was something that I was doing around the house that involved something that, my trigger analogy or something, yeah, I could imagine wearing this. And I would definitely be using this at that point. The rubber, that. So, the rubber bedpan piece. Outside the house, I probably wouldn't wear it just so it'd sit a little bit closer to my face and look a little less big. And again, once you wear a hat or glasses or a hoodie, you sort of hide the bulk of it a little bit. It is a fun device, and it's certainly more fun and functional now that I know that it has an app, and I could turn the fan on, but turn the RGB off, which kills the battery drain. I don't know how long the battery lasts yet, but obviously logic will tell you RGB on and high-speed fan is going to be the most, and low fan with no RGB is going to be the least. With the rubber bedpan out, you do begin to get more of that sensation of airflow when you are wearing the mask. So if I were to turn this back on high, I can feel the breeze a bit more on high than I can with the rubber mask in there. Not exactly too sure how the air is channeled, but with the rubber bedpan out, I'm beginning to get that breeze sensation again. It is, of course, at its strongest when these filters aren't here. But then again, if the filters aren't in, you aren't really protecting yourself. And even though you're probably going to exhale down here, if you're exhaling, some of it will, of course, go back this way. The rubber piece does make a good seal, but I wouldn't say this would be like perfectly airtight, but it comes really, really close. So for ultimate protection, leave this in. But if you have a smaller face and it's just too big forward of your face and too big on the wings, you can take this out. I would then maybe put a band-aid up here on the plastic so that the cushion faces down to you, just to give it a little bit of nose comfort. I was wearing this for a while earlier today, and it actually was pretty comfortable, and the airflow is really good. I'd say you will get a little bit less speech distortion than a standard cloth mask, because that tends to, it's different. Your speech distortion is going to be different. A cloth mask can tend to screw up your words a little bit because of how close it is to your mouth, and maybe it's making contact with your face in a way that's distorting what you're saying. This isn't distorting what you're saying, it's just changing the volume of it. It's a little bit less, and it has that Bane echo effect. So if you are in a situation where you need to be heard clearly, and normal masks seem to screw that up for you, this may be a good alternative. Just maybe add a little bit of volume to it. So it's a cool mask. I like it. The mask itself, I think, is about $100. The starter kit is 140 something. The amount of time in which I would use this particular mask means that I am set for a long time with the filters that came with it, and then the starter kit filters. It's cool to have. If I were in those scenarios where it may be more of a tech set or more of a younger set, I would definitely wear it. I think it is very much going to be a conversation piece, and I think you probably need to be prepared for that. So here's the back of it, by the way. Here's the upper piece that has the adjuster ball. Here's the lower piece without it. The rubber very clearly has the side that goes up against your head. It has a little bit of a rough nipples on it to give it some purchase. These strings are very stretchy, so you could pull this really far back and get it over your head without like messing up your hair too much, because it's you don't have to pull it over your head super tight. That's messing your hair up and everything. I could potentially see some other versions of this mask in the future, maybe having potentially like speakers right here. It is Bluetooth already, so that's going to add probably to some of the bulk to some degree, but maybe have like speakers here on the sides, if that doesn't add too much bulk, just to get some music similar to the Razer Anzu glasses. I can't imagine, maybe a microphone so that you could take and answer calls on your phone without taking the mask off. I think maybe they thought about that, but then were afraid of the bulk. But with the miniaturization of things, that's certainly a possibility, and I think that would be pretty cool to have speakers here, and then have a phone with a digital assistant that had a keyword like Amazon's you know who, which I can't say because she's in the room, or like an OK Google or a Hey Siri or something. And actually my phone went off on the OK you know who. So yeah, that could be interesting to be able to do a digital assistant from one of these. Maybe have the microphone in the cup down here, and then the speakers here on the sides. So yeah, interesting product. Good luck getting one. I don't know when the next drop will be because I'm not signed up for them anymore because I got it, so I don't need it. But you can go to the site, go to lifestyles, go to wearables, go down past the Razer Anzu into the Zephyr section, hit a notify me. And yeah, if you want a very interesting mask with RGB, that will probably be a conversation starter in some way, shape, or form. And maybe are going to be immune to the sideways glances and chuckles you might get at this, go ahead. I probably wouldn't wear it out too much with the girlfriend because she's already expressed her input on it, but potentially without the rubber bedpan in there, and maybe something like super quick, like running into PetSmart and getting some cat food, running out. I might wear it because at the end of the day, if somebody looks at you funny and is like, "What the hell is that?" You're only going to see him for a couple minutes while you're checking out, and they're going to be gone. So who the hell cares? Anyway, Razer Zephyr, folks. Have a good one.